Hello, and welcome back to Spittin' Sports with Lamar. I am Casey Lamar, and I'm coming at you from the 256. Today, I'm just going to try to make this one quick. I'm going to discuss. There was a meeting between the NFL Competition Committee today about the helmet rule, the Ohio State investigation, and some MLB news related to next season. But first, I'll start with the NFL, the helmet rule. Uh, if you're a football fan, you know all about the helmet rule, but I'm just going to go ahead and cover the basics of it. The NFL Competition Committee met today and issued a small clarification for that controversial helmet rule, and but there was no actual alterations to the rule itself. And in the rule book, it's been published. Everything it's in the NFL rule book. This is what the rule states. It is a foul if a player lowers his head to initiate and make contact with his helmet against an opponent. The wording, the competition committee said, the wording did not specify the degree of contact required, which it did not, and it limits the use of replay to reviewing ejections that result from the rule. So, but the committee did determine that inadvertent or incidental contact with the helmet and/or face mask is not a foul. That should have been a given in the first place, but the rule did not state that. So it was much like the targeting rule when it first started. It was a reviewable play, but you still got the 15 yards, and it was just really, how's it going to be enforced? There's a lot of leeway, I guess you could say. There's a lot of discrepancy in the way it can be ruled and how somebody sees something. So making the wording clarification helps, but it's still hard. How do you get anywhere? How do you go that direction? You use your head and you go that way. Sometimes that might be a natural reaction to just duck your head or do your head a certain way, and it gets in the way. But with the wording change, it does make the rule less bad, I guess you could say. It's still, we'll just have to see how it's ruled upon in regular season games. It has been called 51 times in 33 preseason games to this point. A lot of people hate it, but maybe with the wording change, it may help the rule some, because accidental contact is accidental contact. It'll help keep people from getting ejected. Makes it to where it can be reviewed. Now, there's plays out there that you just know somebody meant to do it. I believe it was Davante Adams from Green Bay. Danny Trevathan hit him from the Chicago Bears last year, and you just saw the ill intent in the hit. It was blatant. Like, you can tell when somebody is blatantly trying to do that, and they were calling those plays. Unnecessary roughness, whatever it may be. Those plays were getting called already, so I don't know really what this changes. Obviously, it changed a lot when they just threw it in there, and it was voted upon, and it was agreed upon. But the inadvertent or incidental contact, those word changes help, in my opinion. Those wording changes help a lot. So they'll help keep people from getting thrown out of the game that don't need to be. Really, but those plays were already plays like that were already being called. Now, now I know this is supposed to be any helmet contact whatsoever. That's why I think the wording is good, because any helmet contact whatsoever, that can be looked at and by those words be determined that way. Still, it's a sketchy rule, but we'll just have to see how it plays out in the regular season. But like I said, unnecessary roughness and things like that were already being called. Players weren't being ejected, which that probably should be added in there, because some things were just they were just brutal hits. I just remember that Danny Trevathan hit on Davante Adams. He should have been gone immediately. He went in ill intent, crown of the head right into his mouth. But we'll, like I said, just have to see how it is after the word changes and how the rule actually plays out and how it's actually going to be ruled upon in actual games. So I'm going to go ahead and move on from that. We'll keep an eye on the NFL rule, the new helmet rule, as it goes along. I'm going to talk about the Ohio State thing real quick. Not much has really happened. But the Ohio State board did begin discussing the Urban Meyer probe and its findings this morning. The meeting began just after the actual meeting, where they went into a secluded room. It began just after 9 a.m. Eastern time this morning. They didn't give a timeline or timetable to release their findings or decisions or anything of that sort. And there still is no word out of Columbus as of now about that, about what's going to happen. I'll talk more about that after the findings come out, but the 2-week investigation is kind of, it seems like they might have been trying to find a way to keep Meyer around. But anyway, talk about that later when the actual findings come out, what actually happens, and just kind of my thoughts and whatever about it. Last thing, Major League Baseball. They did release the 2019 schedule today as well, but it will be the earliest opening day ever for Major League Baseball, which will be next season, the 2019 season, and that day will be March 28th. This season, the 2018 season, was the earliest to date with March 29th, but next year will begin a day earlier for actual opening day for all teams. All teams will play. The opening games are actually before that because they will be playing regular season games in Tokyo, London, and Mexico next year. But the opening series of the season will be March 20th to the 21st, and it will take place in Tokyo between the Seattle Mariners and the Oakland Athletics. With the Athletics acting as the home team, they will be in the Tokyo Dome March 20th and 21st, 2019. That will be the opening weekend of the season. Obviously, like I said before, opening day for all teams to have played a game, March 28th. But the Red Sox and Yankees, they will play the first games ever on European soil for the Major League Baseball. Those games will be June 29th and 30th, and they will be in London. And then there will be 6 games in Monterrey, Mexico next season. 2 of them will take place spring training. Spring training games March 9th and 10th between the Rockies and Diamondbacks will take place in Mexico. The Reds will act as the home team against the Cardinals in Monterrey April 13th through the 14th. April 13th and 14th, not through the 14th. It's just 2 days. And the Los Angeles Angels and the Houston Astros will play May 4th and 5th. So all of it on the front end of the schedule. I guess that's just the way they wanted to do it, but they're trying to expand more around the world. Baseball is pretty popular, especially in Japan. So it'll be interesting to see those games. It'll be different because it hadn't been done in a regular season anyway. So those will be interesting to see. But that is all I wanted to say today. I just wanted to make it quick. Got some things to do. Wanted to go ahead and make this video quick for you guys, cover some things. But tomorrow, or maybe even later tonight, depending on the time, talk more about the Ohio State investigation when more is known, and any other news. Different rules, and I know the NFL changed some rules. A few rules, college football, always changing rules these days, especially college football with the kickoff rule. Maybe I'll make a video about that, but we'll just see. But if you did enjoy, don't forget to like, share, go ahead and comment on the video, and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy this video. But this has been Spittin' Sports with Lamar. I am Casey Lamar, and I look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow.